Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin, and I'm back, bitches.
He's back in action.
Back
He's
in
not
action.
the only one that's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, we have all the way from tomorrow.
All the way from the future, from our
That's right.
future, who's come to warn us, possibly help us. The person you know as kind-hearted. The person you know as the one who refers to a Huntsman spider as a kitty cat. The person you know who has said,
Can I put my dick in worse?
please welcome back Jarryd Urbas.
Fuck me, slutty.
Yeah,
weird
that
first
one
name
too,
to
of
say.
course. Yeah. I knew there was a couple in there. Jarryd, welcome back, buddy.
Thank you for being here.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Oh.
5 times now. 5 times.
He is
That's right.
a member of the illustrious Five Timers Club, which is not a thing until now.
No, it is a thing.
Yeah.
It is a thing. We're like SNL stole it from us, you know?
Right. Well, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
They
because
stole
I'm
it.
from tomorrow, so
Yeah.
SNL's in the past. So
That's right. That's right.
Technically, you've always been ahead of SNL.
yeah.
So we can just call it, SNL 100% stole it from us. Lord Michaels, we're coming for you.
Lord Michaels, we're coming for you.
It's SNL stands for Stolen Naughty Lauren.
There we go.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
You've heard it here.
Let's talk about some more deep state conspiracies.
Yes, let's do it. Deep steak. What do you got? What's your deepest steak conspiracy?
About a 3-ounce ribeye.
Yeah, 3 ounces, that's it?
Sorry, 3-inch. Did I say ounce?
You did. 3
It's
ounces.
still metrics.
Yeah. It's something.
I was in Mexico. They use a whole different measuring system.
Whole different things. They use dollars.
You say inches, I say ounces, whatever.
We say dollars, say dollar. It's all, it's all boopity boopy, down there.
Jarryd, how do you measure things down under?
With rulers and tape measures,
It's like
lasers.
3.5 Huntsman long.
Yeah. Yeah, no. You spread out the Huntsman, and then that's pi. That's how you calculate pi.
Would you make a pie out of a Huntsman spider? Would you eat that if they cooked one into a pie?
I would feel like
'Cause
there's not much
people
meat,
I'm just saying, people eat insects. Like they make like cricket, like chocolate covered
Yeah.
crickets and stuff.
I've
Like,
had the
what if you made a
crickets.
Huntsman pie?
See, I think our Huntsmans are different. I think we have. Oh, sorry,
Wait,
not Huntsmans.
Then ours?
I was thinking daddy long legs. I was thinking back to the daddy long legs. Huntsman is. I guess a Huntsman would be good deep fried.
You think so?
I guess. I mean,
Okay.
people eat deep fried tarantula.
We got an hour and a half, so can you find one and get some oil going?
I'll check my
You know what would be
window, but I
wild?
don't
It's
think
just
I
like
can-
we just see in the back corner, we just see
I literally just, as you said that,
this
I think
big
I know,
hairy
like,
hand just moves up the wall because that's about the size of a huntsman. So,
Yeah. But in Justin's stream.
Yeah,
In
right?
Justin's video.
He's just like, "Ugh." So honestly, when we were joking back and forth about the huntsman and stuff, do you like how do you honestly feel about a huntsman? Are you like, they're no big deal? They're kind of like the kitty cats. Like, what are they to you?
They spook you more than anything. Like,
Sure.
normally the times I've seen them is they'll be on like the big glass sliding door in the morning,
Ugh.
always up like in the corner. So it'll be like here, and you'll just see something the size of a fucking hand, and it'll spook you.
What
But
a
then
nice
you
way to
just
say. You'll get a little bit of fright when you see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
You'll go to
well,
walk
because
outside
I'm like,
and go,
fuck, whose hand is that?
Whose
And then
hand?
I'm like, oh no, it's a.
Oh God, the
It's
left
just
hand
a
killer's
severed
back,
hand.
and he's putting his threat. He's claiming me as this. Oh wait, that's just a fucking huntsman. Never mind.
oh no,
Yeah,
someone
no,
left
it's
their
fine.
hand on my door again.
Or you're like, oh my God, it's the face hugger from Alien. No, it's just a huntsman. It's all good.
Yeah. And then you can try and put it outside, but like, why bother?
You can try
Or
to
you
put it
can-
outside.
But why bother? It's just going to tell you, like, get your fucking hands off me.
I mean, it's going to kill the worst spiders.
Is that
Fair
what it
point.
does?
Huntsman, yeah, huntsmen eat other spiders. So if
Alright.
you have a huntsman, it means you don't have redbacks, which are like a black.
I
widow
feel like
that's
you
gonna
can't
kill
say that, Jarryd. I feel like you can't say that. It's 2023. I don't think you can call them that anymore.
What did I say? Redback.
Yeah, ooh, dude. I don't think you can. I don't think you can call them that. I think you got to call them.
Yeah, the
you know,
redbacks and the chooks.
Yeah.
We need them out of our country.
All right.
No, I like chicken, so
You
chooks
heard
would
it
stay.
here first.
I will never forget the first time you said chooks. You made a joke on Jackbox, like we were playing Joke Boke, and you said chooks, and everyone was like, "What?" And you're like, "Chooks," and we're like, What are you talking about? And you're like, chickens. I'm like, we don't call them chooks. He goes, you don't call them chooks? I'm like, no, never heard that before. I was like, I feel like you can't say that word. Like, it sounds really awful.
We used to have a fast food chain that was called Chooks, and it was just like a fried chicken place.
Yeah, well, there was a school in a town called Peoria, Illinois, and their mascot was a pejorative term for the Asian folk up until about, I don't know, 25 years ago.
Seriously?
You don't know about this, Justin?
I don't, honestly.
Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, boy.
Their mascot was the.
You don't have to say it. But
I won't say it.
Yeah.
But that was their mascot. It was a terribly drawn, just very racist caricature, and it was labeled one of the racist places in America because of that. And they stood by that, and it wasn't. I mean, it was like a very recent change. And some people, even like recently, I saw an article. There were some alumni. They're like, I don't know why we changed it. You know, they stood by it. I was like, what? No. Yeah. So. Yes.
America.
I mean, we only just had some recent problematic things change over here.
Yeah.
You know what? Change is good. You know.
Yeah. We had a lolly, a candy that recently it's been renamed to Red Ruppers.
Mm-hmm.
But up until I think 12 months ago, it was called Redskins.
Ooh. Hey, you know what? To be fair,
originally had a Native American mascot.
Just barely beat out the Washington Redskins that were up until a year ago. A little bit more than a year ago. That's what they were now. They're the Washington team, or are they the Commanders? I forget what they're called now.
It's the Commanders.
Yeah. So, and we still have the Cleveland Indians with a really bad logo of.
Yeah. I've seen that one.
I think the Fighting Illini for Illinois University. Still, there's a lot of people. When I was in college,
The Atlanta Braves.
When I was in college, there were some people that like in the state of Illinois, people love Illinois University, and it's they would have someone that dressed up in traditional Native American garb come out and throw their spear. Like they did this whole thing, and it was starting to come up in that time where they're like, "Hey, I think we shouldn't do this anymore." And I remember taking a sociology class, and we were debating it, and there was this guy that's like, my family has been going to there for generations, and I mean, it's not what they're saying it is. I'm like, how do you know what that is? They're like, it's a tradition. And Justin, do you know what I responded to with that? I go,
I'm sure
so
you said.
I go, so
sure
you think it's okay that it's a tradition? I go, yeah. I go, do you know what else was a tradition? He goes, what? I go, slavery. And boy, in that room full of all white people, that was an awkward silence for all of them. So
Just
yeah, he was like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, they never do.
That's right.
So
let's all wrap that up and change the fucking school mascot.
yeah, so let's do that. All right, let's get back. I really want to get to the bottom of these Huntsmans. All right,
Jarryd!
So Huntsmans. So when you were talking about you'd see them on your window, are you talking about inside or outside when you'd like wake up in the morning?
Yeah, inside.
Oh. Can I ask an honest question? How did they get in?
That one I don't know.
Did they find the key under the mat? You know?
Right? Yeah. Did they just kind of like walk up to a window and just like elbow it, break it, reach in, change the lock, and then they're just in?
No.
They come
You
up
wake
through the
up, they're
doggy
having
door.
some popcorn, or some crisps,
No. So when the possums are partying in your roof, they leave the tiles open, and then the huntsmen all get in through there, and then in through your vents.
Australia's
That's probably it. That's
fun,
probably
man.
Yeah, I can't imagine you all would have like doggy doors because God knows what would just come crawling in,
Right?
That'd be,
Like,
We had a cat door. That's probably how things got in.
yeah.
well, yeah. Let's reflect on that, Jarryd. Do you think that might be how things got in?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, do you have a dog, or did you have a dog at one point before it got killed by Australia?
Yeah. When I lived with my parents, we had a dog.
Okay. And again, this is an honest question. It's going to sound like a joke, but it's an honest question. Like, do you have to closely monitor your pets when you let them out? Like, I can let my dogs out back and kind of just be like, cool. But do you have to like legitimately watch every move they make?
No, I mean I lived in the suburbs. Sometimes they'll get ticks.
Suburbs.
Sometimes
I think the Huntsmans also live in the suburbs. So I
Did
mean, I don't.
the huntsman
Yeah,
just go, nope, can't go in there?
I'm more of a city guy. I'm more of a country boy. I hang out in the country,
I mean, dogs will occasionally eat spiders that they're not supposed to, but like, it's fine.
I love Australia so much.
No, you don't eat that spider. Bad dog.
Yeah.
Drop it.
Drop it. It's just, its legs are just flapping in its mouth.
It's trying to drop it, but it's slowly just like
It's descending from the webbing in its mouth.
The actual problem you have is when you have small dogs. So like when I was a kid, we had like a big dog, but now my parents have like these small dogs. And the problem with those is if you take them for a walk off the leash, you have to be worried about an eagle taking them away.
I've heard about that. I've seen that in Bluey.
That's more of a concern. More of a concern than the spiders.
That's fair.
I don't think I've watched that season of Bluey yet.
I have. I've seen it.
It's dark.
The one where the bird essentially is attacking them as they walk by. And they're like, this fucking thing's going to take the dogs. I think that was a direct quote, if I remember correctly. That's Bandit.
Dad just goes, this bloody cunt.
I was like, this dog cunt right here is going to take this fucking dog, Doesn't sound anything like
there's
Australian.
the Bin Chickens episode where the dogs attack the birds,
Yeah.
which is legit. That's sweet up.
That
Love a
happens.
Bin Chicken.
Yeah. So yeah, I just
Bandit just goes, kill the chooks. And he's just got red all over. He's got a face, a paw print of red over his face.
Bandit turns to Blue. He's like, today I'm going to teach you to be a real dog. Bare your teeth. Today we feast. It's just, I will show you where you came from. This thing go and murder.
I'm liking this new season of Bluey, man. This is edgy.
I mean, that's got to be Bluey in her teenage years, right? As she's like, trying to overcome her animal instincts.
And her dad's racist use of chook. He's just driving around with flags on his ute with like,
Right.
get the chooks out of our country, just like written in on the back with like newspaper clippings of all the
Right.
bad things he thinks
Yeah.
chooks have done. One of those kind of trucks.
He's just got two chicken
those
legs rubbing
trucks?
across. Yeah. Yeah, one of those. Everyone knows what those trucks are.
Yeah, we know what those mean. You know what
I
those
went to
are.
Ace Hardware today. Saw one of those trucks in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to keep harping on this, but I am truly fascinated by this. So do you get desensitized to seeing something like a huntsman? Like, do you just kind of be like, there it is, know?
Kind of like how we get desensitized to seeing guns.
I guess. Well, I don't know. I guess the news about it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing that a creature like that's that big, that already like, I see a wolf spider and I'm like, fuck, that thing looks terrifying. And those are relatively decent size, but they're not the size of a huntsman. If I just got up in the morning and it's just basking in the sun on the window, like, oh yeah, just rubbing its balls all over your window, getting it heating up. It's just like, yeah. Because also, how fast are they?
Good question.
Very fast.
Oh no.
Again, I just get
when you're trying to get a cockroach, you're trying to like smack a cockroach about that fast.
Oh no.
I'm just thinking. Like, all I can think of is that scene from Aliens, where the facehugger's running towards Ripley, and she's throwing shit at it. It's like running it. Eventually, just like, and then like jumps up on her. I'm like, Now, are they aggressive?
No.
Okay. Someone in our TikTok comments said, "Man, those things are fucking aggressive." So I just,
Only if you attack it.
I guess maybe if you're another spider,
don't provoke it.
If you're another spider, it probably is pretty goddamn aggressive, Now, do they fight each other? Do they fight other huntsmen? Or are they territorial? Like,
I've never seen.
I know
two
you're
at
an
the same
expert.
time.
You are the doctor of huntsmen. Dr. Huntsman is what they call you.
Mike
Yeah,
Mike
my
Huntsman.
nickname in high school.
Jarryd liked that one. Yeah.
I mean, never mind. We're done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this conversation. Jarryd, you did some fun things yesterday on Instagram. Tell me about
Oh my god, I did.
what that was.
Okay,
Please.
so in Australia, there's basically like Dave and Buster's, right? We have Time Zone, which is our big arcade chain, and I'm a big fan. I've been going there for years. It's a regular date night spot with my partner, and I recently found out how many there actually were in WA, and realized I hadn't been to all of them. So I planned it out and just went to all of them in one day, which took almost 13 hours.
Now, are they all different?
It's sort of. They've all got their uniqueness. But the big hassle was one of them is an hour and a half drive away. And then it's an hour back to the next one. And then from there, it was like a half hour to the next one. And from there, another half hour. Like, WA is quite big.
Yeah.
It's a big state.
For those of us who don't know, WA stands for Western Australia, correct?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Sorry, Western Australia.
Gotcha. Not Washington, you dumb
Not
shits.
Washington. I wasn't in one of those two places in America called Washington. Actually, you probably have more than two. There's just two I know of. They'd always get
there's
confused.
Washington State, there's Washington, D.C., there's Washington, Iowa. They're all over the place,
Yeah, it's like how every country has a Rome.
Yeah.
Yes.
With us, it's like every state has like a Carthage. Like there's like every place. Oh yeah, you got a Carthage too. Awesome. Like very cool.
What's that one? Like, there's always a school named Samuel Adams or something.
It's news to me. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
John Adams. I don't know. One of your Adams.
Yeah.
John
Quincy. John Quincy Adams, or just John Adams. Big difference.
I don't know.
Who's John Adams?
People are
or
anymore.
Jane Adams?
Jed.
Jane Austen?
Yeah.
We just name names now?
Adamant.
Adamant.
It's a tiny school.
God damn it, Jarryd. That's one. All right, that's one. Okay. So you went and you played at all these different arcades. That sounds like fun.
I did. And
But you got a
at
shitload
each
of
of them-
tickets.
Yeah. So I set myself the challenge that I had to earn 1,000 tickets at each one, which 1,000 is normally like the jackpot on a game. So I don't know how familiar people are with arcades, but that's more of the big prize is 1,000. So it meant I either played a lot of games very smallly and getting 100 here, 100 there, or I just tried for jackpot games, which I think I got about 3 or 4 jackpots during the day.
Which game that you played throughout the entire day was your favorite?
That's a hard one. I love, there's this Pearl coin, the coin pusher games. There's a version of that with pearls, like bowls.
Oh, yeah.
And
you had said that's one of your favorite ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So my girlfriend and I always play that one, but we only just recently figured out how to play it properly. So it drops into little things. It drops into a thing that drops more balls, or it drops into a thing that gives you tickets. And it's like a plinko on top. So when you are doing the dropping, you try and aim for the same thing over and over. And once you get 5 of that in a row, you get like party time. And then if you spam like the dropping, it just keeps like churning out stuff.
Okay.
And we've recently figured it out after playing it the boring way each time, where it was like, just drop one. And just like wherever it goes, it doesn't matter. We weren't too concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very exciting. It's clearly Japanese or like South Korean design, because it's actually fun. You can tell the difference between the Western arcade games where it's like, oh, just do this one thing and then you win a prize. Whereas like these kind of games like are multi-leveled. They're crazy.
And the
it
more
wasn't in
chaos
English.
you create, the more more fun it is. Like you drop the, like you gotta. I feel like at that kind of game, you dropping the balls, you're creating all the chaos. Everything's spilling over the edge. Yeah.
Yeah, and like once it's in party time mode, it's like sounds are going off.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you initiate party time mode. It's
yeah, it's a big winner thing. So we figured that out recently. Like I think 2 date nights ago. After being together for nearly 2 years and going to it all the time, and that's my girlfriend's favorite game. So she'll always be on that one.
See, that's the important thing, though, is that you guys are still discovering new things together.
Yeah,
never stop that.
Figuring out new ways to play with the balls.
See, that's what I'm saying. Keep it spicy.
But yeah, it was. When I planned it out, I was like, oh, this feels like a big challenge. I was like, it's a lot of area to cover and a lot of things to do, and it'll be hard to get these points. And then when I got to the first one, after an hour and a half drive, I was like, well, that's the hard part done. That long drive is the hard part. The rest of this is going to be easy. And then I won my 1,000 tickets, and I was like, excellent. On to the next one. It's all simple from here. And then I put it into the maps and it said an hour drive. And I was like, I don't remember that from my planning. And then I got to the next one and I was like, just struggling to get that 1,000 tickets again. And I was like, okay, well, this is fine. Like, but at this time, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And these places close at 9. So I had 8 hours left to do 9 of them.
Whoa.
And I was like, as long as it doesn't take me an hour between the drive and getting there for each one, I should be fine.
Yeah.
But then like at each one I went to, because they have bowling alleys as well attached to these. So all of the ones that had bowling alleys, I played a game of bowling by myself. Just one 10-frame game. And I was terrible because I was just trying to race through it.
Yeah.
So I'm just hurling these balls down, and I'm like, come on, just put the pins back down. And the time just kept like dragging on, and I was like, shit, have I not planned this properly? It's going to take me too long, and I'm going to just have wasted a lot of time and money. But eventually I did get there, because the last 2 are basically right next to each other. So once I got to those, I was like, okay, sweet, I've got this done. And then I got to the last one that's a combination bowling alley and arcade place. And I did the bowling, and then I was trying to get the tickets, and I just couldn't get over 10 in each game. Mm-hmm. All the games I was playing, I couldn't win. I was just doing terribly. And it got to like right before 9. And thankfully, this one closes at 10, so I had that little bit of leeway. Yeah. But it got to right before 9, which is when I set my challenge for. And I was like 100 tickets behind, and I was like, fuck. I need like one more game. And there's, again, another coin pusher one. And I went on that one, and it pushes out these fucking Wizard of Oz cards that are worth 100 tickets. And I'd like put in this last one, and it was honestly like a photo finish kind of moment of like, come on, and it shoots out this card, and I was like, well, technically this counts as 100. I have to feed it into a machine and print it out, but I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, I fucking nailed it.
Mission accomplished.
Down to the wire.
Yeah,
I nailed it.
And
Congratulations.
Feel a sense of self-accomplishment on that.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a weird thing to accomplish. It was self-imposed, but no one else is fucking doing it. So that's my record.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm sure you made the corporate overlords of Time Stop,
Time zone.
whatever,
Time crisis.
time limit. I'm sure they were like, I don't know what happened, but we got a lot of money today, and we're thankful for that. So good
we were
job.
tagged upwards of 10 times on Instagram. This is great.
No one ever tags Time Stop, ever. Sir, that's not the name of our company. Oh, right. That's why.
That's it. I've been saying it wrong. Johnson!
The impressive thing was I didn't spend that much more than I would on a normal day there.
Okay.
I feel like that doesn't add up.
It was a little bit more.
What about on petrol?
Between driving, all the bowling.
Oh, the driving and the bowling, yeah, but like the arcade stuff, I could spend that much in 2 days, like 2 trips there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you did all of that in
So-
one day. So nice job.
Well played.
Yeah.
I gotta
So-
say, I was super confused. What initially when you were like, "I'm doing 10 time zones today," and I stopped, and I actually stopped watching your reel for a second. I'm like, do I need to Google if Australia has 10 time zones in it? Because I know Australia plays by its own rules, but I don't think that's accurate. I was very confused.
I had thought about that confusion thing and was like, oh, that'll be a good thing to like be like, haha, I'm gonna go 11 time zones in a day. And then I completely forgot about that. I was like, I could pretend I'm in Europe or something, like go
You
with that kind of
should have.
joke.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you went across Europe, there's probably 11 time zones that you could do like in a day.
Probably.
And I'm talking about actually getting off at like train stops and stuff and driving and flying. Like you could do 11 time zones in a day there, right?
Yeah.
I
mean,
feel like this is the new
You
mind
can go
gap
from
challenge.
our East Coast to our West Coast, and that's a couple time zones unto itself. So I imagine, in Europe, absolutely. Hiya.
I mean, if you go from our west to east, you'd get, I think, 3-4 time zones,
About the
depending
same
what,
as us.
what states you go in. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, while
Couldn't
you
do it
were
in a
on
day,
this time bending journey, did you also get waxed? Is that part of the challenge as well?
Do they do waxing at this time zone place? Because that feels weird.
The turn back time
just-
on your body.
Just it's one of the booths, like the photo booth. You just pull a little curtain, you swipe your card.
You see your legs
pull
pop
down your
outside from the
pants.
curtain on either side of it, and you hear, ah!
Yeah, it's like that. No, I waxed last week so that I was streamlined for the challenge. I don't know if you guys have been waxed before.
Nope.
No.
Tell me all about it.
Neither of you?
No.
Not even your back, Doug.
Why would I
You're a
bother?
hairy man.
Why would I
I've
bother?
shaved my back, but I have not waxed
It's
my
just
back.
going to grow back. Why would I go through that torture of just being like, hey, I'm going to shave it, I'm going to wax it, and it'll just come right back? It's just no, just let it be,
So I got my back waxed.
I thought you were going to say your
We'll
balls.
start. I'll tell you what else
I
got
was
done.
hoping. I was like, oh, say his balls. Say his balls.
Taint. I just want to hear him say taint.
Sorry.
They call it something
I
else
got-
down there, something way worse,
Gooch.
I went. It's Fuck. Why? I'm forgetting the
The
name.
snooker.
I think it is Gooch.
His down under.
But no, I did get my back crack sack done.
Oh wait. It's
Back
like
crack
a
and
is it,
sack.
is it a
Back crack and
package
sack.
deal?
Yeah, it's a package deal.
Like, it's like each of those individually are $20, but if you do it, we'll give it to you for like 50.
I wish it was
10 off?
50.
Yeah.
It was like $250 to get it all done.
Ugh.
It was expensive. But also this place I went to was like a little bit nicer.
Do they rub aloe on your balls and suck on your dick after it was done?
I got bad news for you, Jarryd.
Yeah, a good deal, but wasn't the place you thought it was.
Chlamydia.
And not the kind
Yeah,
that are on
was aloe.
koalas, you know? Because this is a different strain. You can fuck koalas all day and not get chlamydia. That's what I hear. Because it's a different type.
Science.
Nice.
We're going to Australia soon. Side note. Anyway, you got
I'm more scared of a koala than I am of a huntsman, by the way.
You're afraid of a teddy bear on drugs?
A teddy bear with massive fucking claws.
Yeah. And a huntsman has massive fucking legs and 8 eyes.
Teeth.
And
Yeah.
it's in your house right now, Jarryd. A koala isn't.
Are koalas
It might
hanging?
be.
It's
Hanging
not.
on your
It's too
sliding
busy
door?
getting high in the trees, man. It's looking around, just be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, man, did you hear about this new cryptocurrency? I think this is gonna be the one that takes us to the moon, man. My dick itches. It's your chlamydia, Frank. You know."
Okay, but have you ever had a stoner up a tree, fall out of that tree, and get real pissed at you and come at you with its claw hands?
I mean,
That's what koalas are.
I've had a dream about it, but you know, it hasn't happened to me in real life.
Do koalas move fast? I thought they were more akin to sloths in how they moved.
No. Once they're on the ground, they can move fast.
Once they're on
They
the ground,
can,
they turn into Usain Bolt. They're actually in a hindrance when they're in the tree.
Right?
They also, if you're standing, can climb you like you're a tree and dig their claws in and not give a shit about you gonads.
So it's like owning a cat, you know? When
Yeah.
a cat does that,
Yeah.
cat's like, you know?
Yeah. But bigger claws and more feral
Yeah.
and chlamydia.
And chlamydia, but that you can't get. We need to be clear about that. You can't get it. So it's its own
So-
special koala strain.
I'm worried about you fucking the koalas.
Don't be.
Worry about the koalas more so.
Worry about yourself, Jarryd. Worry about yourself, all right? So let's talk about your back and your crack in your sack, all right? And the finishing
Would you
move that
rather
happened.
fuck a huntsman or fuck a koala?
Koala, all day, baby. All day. Next question.
Yeah, not here to fuck spiders.
Right?
Um,
You're right. Hey, nice. Nice. I love that
But
saying.
that's why we invented that phrase.
I love that.
No, so the waxing. So I went because I was going to get my back done because I have the problem. I love my body hair. I'm very comfortable with it. But my back is just patchy.
Okay.
It looks like a horribly mowed lawn.
Okay.
Like there's really long bits. There's bald spots. It looks horrible. Chest, stomach, comfortable with those. Those are they're perfectly manicured. The back is patchy. So I was like, well, I'm going to get that. And then I was like, well, while I'm there, I may as well get the whole package.
Man loves a
and
deal. What can I say? You know?
Yeah, it's a bargain. Expensive
I
bargain.
had a
but
Groupon.
bargain.
Yeah, right?
So the back's fine. Sorry, I should start the story properly.
Hold on. Can we also say timeout? Can we see your back?
And your crack and your
No,
I mean,
I was just-
I guess.
Show us. Can we see your waxed back? Can we see what it looks like?
yeah.
Okay.
How good a job they do.
I have to warn you though, it is like a little bit pimply and gross because the hairs are coming back now. But
Okay.
yeah.
That's
Okay, give me
again
a
the
sec.
reason why I don't do this is because it seems pointless. But all right, let's go. Justin's waving at ghosts. I mean squirrels. My bad. Hey squirrels.
Hold on, I gotta do this.
Here we go. Yeah.
Front, nice
Yeah.
and furry.
That's normal.
Damn!
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay, boy.
He even grabs the chair like a pro.
Okay.
I'm into that.
All right.
So for those who are just listening to this, first off, what are you doing?
Yeah. MindGap, youtube.com/MindGap podcast.
That's right. But Jarryd just he stood up very essentially, removed his Superman red sweater, hoodie, as well as his Superman t-shirt, fully for us. Gave us the front as comparison to say it's in this vein, then turned around and showed us a marvelously hairless back. I gotta say, I don't know if it's the camera. I don't know if you got some filter on there, but that was a good looking back, Jarryd.
It was.
Thank you. You're not getting the crack in the sack, though.
No, that's.
I'm going to assume they look similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I go to this place, and it's a very classy establishment. Nice chairs. There's like financial magazines and men's. They're trying to seem a bit upmarket in the waiting area.
While you're in here getting your wax, did you want to learn about a mortgage? You want to see what the mortgage market's doing? There's a great article in here about Bitcoin,
They had people selling me timeshares and multi-level marketing.
There's a koala going, dude, there's this cryptocurrency you're going to fucking love. It's crazy. Hey, my dick itches.
Ellipticoin.
Ellipticoin, my dick itches,
Okay, so this place is bougie AF.
Yeah.
It's a real bougie place.
Is it the kind of place that has like a pitcher of water that also has like cucumbers and all sorts of other garbage in it?
Like there was like a water cooler station and
Nice.
those heavy fucking whiskey glasses there that you don't need. Just give me a paper cup, it's fine.
Yeah.
But anyways, I go into this. I'm escorted to this room by this lady with a French accent. And
already
she's like,
suspect.
Yeah. And she's like, here's a towel, get naked, lay on the bed. And I'm like,
yes, Mom.
I'm like, is this my Tinder dates in COVID times?
Yeah.
Mask on, clothes off.
Nice. Being precautious.
Yeah,
taking precautions.
Yeah, protection up top, down bottom.
There we go.
But yeah, so I get naked and I'm just laying there in my socks on my stomach.
Oh,
Classy
I love
move.
this visual.
Classy
Classy.
move.
Now, are you wearing like dress socks? Are you wearing ankle socks? Like we're wearing like
knee highs? Financial institution, like you just said. So you gotta have the black dress socks on.
Do you have like dollar signs on those socks? So they can look at that and be like, "Oh, this guy might want the full package."
Are you wearing those sock suspenders that keep them up around your thigh?
Right.
Did you keep your loafers on?
I don't remember what socks I was wearing, but they might have actually been ones I got from my mother-in-law for Christmas that have eggplants on them.
Nice.
There it is.
Little stitched eggplants.
We're gonna have to ask more about that later, but continue with this. I've got a whole line of questioning on that.
But anyway, I'm laying down on my stomach, so my back's they're ready to be waxed, and in front of me, like being at the dentist, there's a fucking Where's Wally, just so you can stare at it while you're getting done. And I solve it before she even comes back in the room.
You're too good.
It was too easy right there. Anyway, she comes in and she's like a hairdresser trying to go through those normal questions while just like fucking pouring this hot wax on my back.
In a way, she is a hairdresser.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's like, so there's this hot stuff going on, and I've had my back waxed before, but it was like an in-home one that a friend did, and they put it on, and then they put the paper over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I went to, they just put it on and then just pull the wax off. It's all in one.
Oh, interesting.
And so it's mostly fine. There were a few spots that kind of hurt on the back. But I was like, yeah, this is fine. I could do this again. This is fine. And then the back's done and she gets to the next bit and she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to remove this towel. I just need you to move your leg up a little bit and pull your cheek. Just pull your cheek and spread it.
Now, are you
And I was like,
are you on your back at this point?
no, so I'm still on my stomach.
You're still on your stomach.
Still on my stomach.
Now, when you say
Lift your leg up.
like to the side,
Like
or
a dog taking a pee on a fire hydrant?
Yeah, so kind of bend your knee and lift it up.
Okay.
And then grab a
spread 'em
cheek and spread
And then
it.
grab a cheek and spread it. And that was the point where I was like, I think I made a mistake. I think this is wrong.
I'm in over my head.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not Catholic, but I think I need to go make a confession to a priest now. I've sinned.
She leans in and she goes, there's no God, and just rips, and then your butthole's bleeding.
I got bad news. The priest would ask you to do the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Terrible.
Because it's true.
But yeah, it was. So the hot wax is just straight up on your butthole, and it was the weirdest feeling. It's hard to explain.
Did it feel like your prom night?
All I can think of is the have you checked your butthole?
That makes sense. That guy's, always just as.
Have you checked your butthole?
Yeah.
Okay, so hot wax is on your butthole.
It's on your butthole, and it was on there, and it was a weird feeling. And then I was like, "Oh, I've had this feeling before, but only temporarily." And it's when I've had really bad fucking diarrhea.
There it is.
I was like, please tell me what this means. Okay, there we go. Okay, I got there.
Yep.
And you feel it go between your cheeks, but then it's gone. It's out.
Yeah.
Whereas the hot wax just fucking lingered until it cooled enough, and then she ripped it, and I was like, yeah, no, I've definitely made a mistake. And she's going to have to keep doing it. And so that was uncomfortable, but that was fun. Also, the whole time, she's like, are you sure you don't want your whole butt waxed? And I was like, no, I'm fine with the hair there. It goes down to the legs. It'd be weird if it was just legs and then stops.
Yeah. Looks like you're
instead it
wearing
stops at
leggings. Yeah.
You're like, no one's eating my butt cheeks. Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah.
No one's licking those cheeks.
No.
The only dining plan is in the crack. So got to make sure that's good to go.
I understand.
The cheeks aren't on the menu.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
I'm looking for some quick service right there. You just point to your crack.
So I thought that was going to be the worst part. And then I remembered I had included bowls in the service.
Boy,
So
that
then
is
she's
that
like-
is a piece of audio I want to isolate right there. And then I remembered there was balls in the service. And we're like, this is a quote out of context.
It's 44. All right, got it.
And so anyway, so I flip over at this point, and it's just dicks out. And I had a vasectomy last year, so I'm used to just, you got to get your dick out for different things. My God, I'm going to supply you with sound bites forever.
Man, just whip your dick out.
I feel like I never understood what went through a vasectomy. I mean, I understand, but it's like, hey, so you want to get a vasectomy? Cool. Whip your dick out real quick. Let's just take a look at it and be like,
Let me see. Are you?
Yeah, you should get that
big enough.
snipped. That should get snipped. Good job. All right, put it back in your pants,
Take it out. Now look me in the eye. Don't break eye contact.
All right, you passed the test. We'll get you snipped now.
We'll get you snipped now. You can be waxed. Okay, so you're on your back. You're just hanging dong, just waiting for it to approach with the hot wax.
So now, are you up like change my die pose? Like knees up to your shoulders, like that, or how we looking here?
So this was the weirdest part. She's like, okay, I need you to bend your knees,
like a
and
butterfly.
bring your feet together.
Yeah.
like a diamond pose with my legs, which was uncomfortable. And then she just starts waxing. And because of the way I'm seated, I'm not like in a stable position. Like my legs are kind of already shaky. And then with each pull of the wax, which fucking hurt on the balls, I was like twitching. Like honestly, it was the most vulnerable thing ever.
So sure.
And she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I am. I just need you to do it.
Finish me.
I'm going to finish me.
The pause got me. Finish me.
But anyway, so I thought that was going to be the worst. And I was like, oh, I thought the butt was the worst, but then the balls were the worst. It's just...
This is a treasure trove.
I'm out. This is going to be great on Christmas.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
All right, I got a question. So I'm sorry, you're so.
Ask away. I'm just here for open, honest.
You're being vulnerable, and I love you, and I respect you. This is not easy, to do. You said you got your back waxed because it was patchy. Are your balls the same way? You used to have little tufts of hair here and there. Are you like a dog? That half hairless dog or something?
No, I think it was fairly consistent, but like hairy balls are consistently not the best look,
Yeah.
We've all got them. They're all terrible.
Those balls are smooth as eggs.
So now, was this just like on the scrotum itself? Did you go around the sides? Was it kind of like, up around the shaft and kind of in the pubis area? Like where were you kind of getting waxed?
So she began with the balls, and we're doing like the bottom. It starts from the bottom. I should not make hand gestures. I'm keeping my hands
bottom,
away.
now we're here.
That's what I was thinking. Start from the bottom. Now we're here. All right. So she started from the balls. Okay.
Yeah, and it's around the sides that hurts more. Like on the actual balls is fine, but around the sides, because that's where the hair's thicker.
Yeah.
Sure. And then she turns to me and she's like, okay, so some people don't want this. Some people do it once and then can't handle it. She's like, do you want the shaft waxed? And I was like, well, you're already there. You've already started. How bad can it be? Guys, I'd rather go for a vasectomy every day for the rest of my life than get my shaft waxed again.
That bad.
All right. So when you say getting your shaft waxed, like we talking about
like
the root?
Yeah, like the base of it, like on the sides and just the little bit at the top.
Any lingering hairs that may be around there?
That sounds awful. That sounds absolutely awful to do that.
Absolutely the worst fucking
because that
decision of
stuff
my
is
life.
like talking about again thick hairs where it's most entrenched. That's like World War I trench warfare. Like
right, we've dug in.
No one's really getting anywhere, and to rip that out, yeesh.
These hairs are like we've been here for decades.
Yeah, like
we've seen shit. Yeah,
It was that was the mistake, and the thing was each time she got to a new area, I was like, oh, this is the mistake, but it'll get fine later.
Right.
She ended on the worst part. It was just horrible.
Well, if she started there, you wouldn't have let her finish. So, of course, she ended on the worst part. She knows what she's doing.
She clearly did. But, it was honestly just uncomfortable and not worth it, guys.
You went balls to the wall on that one.
Worth it. Do not wax your shaft.
I would just say, like,
keep it hairy.
We're gonna dive into Practical Doug a little bit here. That hair's just growing back. Like, if you're like, I gotta do this and this hair will never come back ever again, it's painful, but it's worth it. It's like getting the vasectomy, I imagine. Right? Hey, someone's gotta come in here, they gotta tie the tubes, gotta take care of those vas deferens, gotta make sure there's no spermies are coming out of here, all right? It's like, boom, done. We're out of here, game. But this is like, cool. I'm sure, how smooth was it when you were done? Like, did you enjoy the final product?
It was very smooth.
Did your girlfriend enjoy it?
Hasn't experienced it yet. She was. It's been a busy week, so
Time's
I don't
ticking,
even think I told
Jarryd.
her about the crack
Time's
and sack.
ticking.
You guys know first. You guys know first.
We won't tell her, we promise.
Yeah, absolutely. This stays between us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the back felt good, and it's weird putting on a shirt afterwards. I've nared my back before, I've shaved my back before, and I've had the wax before, and every time I just forget the feeling of putting on a shirt and being like, oh, the fabric actually touches your back normally.
Yeah.
Ooh, God, yeah, that would be weird. I don't remember what that's like.
Yeah, Doug, if you ever wax your...
In the summer, I like having it shaved, do your back shaved, just because I honestly, there's less sweat. I find
That's
that
true.
I sweat less.
I trim my armpits just so that I sweat less in the pits. I'm always going to sweat there. It's, whatever it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no way I would ever shave my back. There's just no way, no how.
I made the mistake of shaving my front once.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Like
You
chest belly.
You didn't like that.
I was like, oh, this, I'm gonna see what this is all about. And I was like, oh no, this is no bueno. I looked like a very chubby baby. Like, it was not good. You know how we all have beards. You know how when you shave this, it's just like a fleshy ramp from your neck to your chin.
Yeah.
There's really no jawline. It's just, this gives you the definition, like it hides that,
Yeah, it
false
just
sense of
hides. It
security.
hides this double chin under here.
Yeah, that's the same thing that chest hair and belly hair do. Like, it was like, oh, there's, it's not that bad, and then you shave it, and you're like, you can't. There's nothing to hide behind.
Justin,
You burned down the cover.
let's make a pledge. Let's figure out a number of Patreon subscribers that we would get to, and then we would shave each other's chests, and we would film it.
We're shaving each other's, not our own.
Exactly. I shave yours, you shave mine.
It's just you guys standing in a double shower. Just
Yeah.
That number just got higher.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, like we just. Yeah, we can do fun designs.
We'll figure it out.
It'll be
Yeah.
great. We'll do like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be great if you went and got a back wax, Doug, and filmed it for the podcast.
Can we do a number of
content would be
Patreon
good.
subscribers?
We figure out a number of Patreon subscribers. I'll do it. 'Cause 5.
To celebrate my 5 years.
No. It's gonna be. We'll start with shaving each other's chests. That's like, one. Then above that is us both getting our backs waxed. We'll graduate to that. Yeah.
I reckon. So the waxing when the hair comes back isn't as bad as when it comes back in.
No.
Shaving.
No. We're not shaving our backs. Like, we're just shaving our fronts. Like, as the first one.
Worse.
What do you mean worse?
That should be the worst tier.
Really?
That should be the thing you want to do last. Back waxing, simple, easy. It doesn't hurt much, and then it's hurts less than your shaft. The chest. The shaving of the chest would be so fucking itchy. You'd spend weeks going like this.
I'll tell you what.
I do that anyway.
You're not wrong.
I do that anyway.
You're not wrong. Growing it back was horrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the itch after shaving is way worse. Like, I've got barely any itch after waxing. After shaving, horrible itch.
So then you and I will wax each other's fronts, Doug.
Oh God.
Less itch. Worse on the front, better on the back end.
Oh my
Wait.
God. What? Well, so I'll say this much. Again, going back into Practical Doug, going through all of that just to know that it's going to come back to me without having done this doesn't seem worth it. It doesn't seem worth it to me.
I'll do the back again. I won't do the rest. The rest was awful.
Back kind of makes sense in the regards of like the back is hard to get to, right? It's it's hard to reach and things like that. So to have someone else do that, I think that seems reasonable. I can take care of my balls. I'm good. I got that covered. As far as my butt crack goes, hey man, it just is what it is. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about getting that taken care of, you know?
We'll get to the butt in a second.
Right? We'll see what it is, you know? But as
Jarryd,
far as
how many
ahead.
Patreon subscribers do we have to get for you to go get the shaft waxed again?
Oh,
For me to go do it again, ooh, it's a lot.
A lot of Patreon.
Yeah.
Knowing
yeah.
that you see none of the benefit and you're just sacrificing yourself.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
us.
I get nothing for it.
yeah.
I get maybe a voucher for a shaft waxing.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll have you on a sixth time to talk about it.
How many Patreon subscribers does Dungeons and Daddies have?
Oh my
You
god.
guys need to meet them.
Oh boy.
That's
a
what it
lot.
means.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Okay with that?
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get
Let's
there.
do that.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. Let's get Jarrod's shaft waxed, baby. Let's make this happen. I really want to hear about your trip to Mexico, Justin, but I'm afraid we're not going to have enough time.
Nah, there's no time. There's no time.
So real quick, before we head on to the final segment, I'm going to throw in a bit of a curveball. So aliens exist? Question mark?
Yeah, I mean, I need to bone up on this
Yeah, you do, baby. Yeah, you do.
because I think this didn't the hearings happen while I was gone? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I got back and I was just like, wait a second. I'm sorry. I go to Mexico for a week and what happens? Like they're just here now? Okay.
Well, I would also say that the hearings were in no way, shape, or form full of any evidence whatsoever. It was a guy basically being like, "Hey, I heard from somebody important that this is a thing. This is a deal. This is a real
Some
deal."
guy being coy, going, maybe there is.
They're like,
I
"So,
don't
do
know."
you have evidence?" I can't discuss that right now. We'll have to have a security briefing for me to give you more information about the thing I heard from a guy that I know. You know?
My wife's hairdresser told me
Yeah,
that
right.
her cousin. Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of like that scene from Ant-Man where Michael Pena's character is like talking about who he heard from somebody about something,
Yeah.
you know, like.
Jarryd, are you up on this?
Yeah, and I have a strong theory based on very clear evidence.
Is it
It's
squirrel?
clearly
Sorry, koalas.
close. See, it's Laika coming home. That's all it is. She's a good girl. You know the Russian dog they sent up into space. the
Oh,
first
that's from Guardians of the
non-human in
Galaxy.
space?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cosmo, but
Yeah.
it's actually Laika, the Russian dog. It's just her coming home. They said it's non-human, so it could be dog.
That's true. That's
Could
true.
be dog.
Anyone
Yeah.
of the chimps they've sent up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, the Navy pilots that testified, listen, I believe they saw some wild shit. I mean, they have no reason to lie. They're like, yeah, we were up in the air. We saw some weird things happening up there. But the other guy that's like, listen, I have information that dates back to the 1930s that says Benito Mussolini found the first craft that crashed, and he worked through the Pope to get connected to the U.S. in order to help them retrieve this flying object that would crash
Really?
landed. Yeah. I'm like,
That's what we're talking about here. Okay,
I'm like,
cool.
listen, so almost 100 years ago, something like this happened, and you're telling me that if, let's assume it's real, we've kept the secret this whole time?
Well, one might argue that we haven't kept the secret.
I'm sorry.
Kind of one of those worst kept
How
secrets.
many presidential, presidents have we had since then? How many administrations have we had since? It's just like, there's a lot of things. Also, most of the sightings, like of they're also now called UAPs, unidentified aerial projectiles or whatever, something like that. Most of those are in like the Western English speaking world. You don't
Right.
see them in, like, I don't know. It's just weird, the sightings. It's just, I don't know,
Because
man.
we're number one. USA!
USA. You know, It's also significantly in rural areas as well. You know, it's just
Sure.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you're visiting a place, you really want to go check out the rural areas. You know, like let's go check out Nebraska. You know,
Show me where your worst of the worst live.
I want to see your agriculture. See if you know how to do crop rotation. You dumb sons of bitches. You know.
Talk about watersheds.
Yeah. What kind of watersheds you working with over there? You got any grassy waterways to help you avoid erosion? Right now, Jill is getting really mad, and she doesn't know why.
I was hoping that was going to happen.
Reference the grassy waterways. Yeah. So
I'll say this: if the fact that the orangutan was in the office and then left. You know, like you talk about someone who can't keep fucking secrets. Yeah. Someone who's just like gonna blab that shit. Yeah. You know, like if Trump was in office and he left and he still didn't say anything, one of two things happens. One, they're not real, or two, they were just like, maybe we don't tell them.
Right. This guy was holding on to Iranian battle plans and showing them to people that didn't ask for them. And it's for him to be like, I bet they'd be like, hey, check out these aliens, am I right? Whoa, this is what their dicks look like. Look at that. Right. Look at that. And guess what? They have their own strain of chlamydia, so you can fuck them and you won't catch it. It's space chlamydia. Totally different from ours. You can't catch it.
Space chlamydia.
Pete.
Someone get me Mulder
Pete
and
down
Scully.
at R&D has already proven this. Like, he's fucked this thing so many times, hasn't gotten anything. It's totally cool.
It's glowing green.
Yeah. So good. It's so good.
He said the sex is worse than getting your sack waxed, but no chlamydia.
Science, you know? It's all for science. Yeah. And no chlamydia. It's all good. No. Yeah. No, I just find it hard to believe that anything like that. Now, and again, this is one of those things that I'm like, absolutely prove me wrong. I would be more than happy with evidence to accept, you know, what's going on here. But it was fascinating to me that something like this, because to me, it's probably because it's just there's not a ton of evidence for it, that this happened. There was a subcommittee on record with Congress and someone testifying like, yeah, man, there's biologics and shit. I heard about it from a guy who saw it, you know, and the world was like, yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow, man. Like this fucking student debt ain't going away like Biden promised, you know? Like, what do you, I still can't afford a house. Like, who gives a shit? Seth posted a great meme in our meme Discord channel of it was like Duke Nukem reacting to this news. He's like, you're telling me aliens are here? He's like, are the aliens going to pay my rent? Are the aliens going to fix the economy? Shut the fuck up, man. I got to go to work tomorrow. Like, just, it was like this 1 minute diatribe about all the problems in the world. Who's like, who gives a fuck? And I, for the longest time, have said, if aliens are real, it will be an existential crisis for us. But I may be completely wrong. And people be like, who gives a shit, man? I got bills to pay, you know?
Well, it's one of those things.
The writers are still on strike, man. You know?
Who's going to write the movie about this? I did hear another person was saying, like, they're like, you know, it's essentially saying that, you know, so they announce aliens exist and no one gives a fuck. That just goes to show you how much fucking shit is like, we're just exhausted. You know, the news is, you know, like one thing after the other. And then it's like, cool, let's put that on the back burner. We don't have time to deal with that right now. We got to get these other 10 things squared away. You know, fucking figure out what we're doing with, you know, Russia and Ukraine. We got to figure out, you know, fucking, what is it? Canada's burning and now Greece is burning and now, you know, just the world's on fire. What else we got to deal with? Aliens, they can fucking go kick rocks. We'll be with them in a second.
What are they going to do? It turns into a very selfish thing. It's like, what are you going to do for me, aliens? Huh?
Right.
What are you going to do for me? You going to give me more vacation time? You going to give me more vacation time, aliens? Huh?
Right.
Huh? Fucking Yellow Trucking Company just went fucking bankrupt, man. Our logistics and shipping prices are going to go through the roof. What are you going to do about that? Huh? Xenu?
We got Huntsman Spiders hanging out on their fucking doors? What are we doing?
Yeah, man. They say I should let them outside, but they're as big as my fucking hand, man. I don't want to touch it.
Do you believe that aliens are on our planet or no?
I think you could call things under the ocean aliens. Because those things are fucking completely different to anything we see, and they're always discovering stuff.
Yeah.
You could dig up, fucking get something from like the deep fucking ocean, pull it out, and be like, "Guys, I found an alien," and people would believe it because it would, as long as it's something we haven't seen yet, it's gonna seem so biologically weird. You could say it's aliens.
Yeah.
So I think maybe aliens are underwater. So aliens are coming from underneath.
We
From our
never.
hollow Earth. Wait,
Yes. Now we're talking. We didn't look below.
Yeah.
I tell you guys, you never vetted whether I was a hollow earther.
Better than a flat earther, that's for sure.
Damn. He slipped
it
by
makes
us.
more
We always
sense.
forget that one.
Well, I think it's also incredibly arrogant to think that aliens would look like us at all. You know what I mean? Like they would be humanoid in any way, shape, or
yeah.
form. You know, like it's absolutely absurd. Not to mention that we have drones and shit like that. Who's to say that the things that people are seeing aren't also drone, like, non-manned,
I misunderstood. I thought you were doing a brag against the aliens. Also, we have drones.
We've got fucking drones and shit that we fly into other people's capitals and blow them up. We don't need to put people in them. Go fuck yourself.
fucking top that one's aliens.
Yeah, like the idea that, we would see something and be like, oh, this is the way we portray them in our minds, so that's how they should be. It's like the odds of them being something that we would recognize easily is absurd. Like there's no telling what they would potentially be or things like that. Now, I mean, also it's crazy now because we're realizing how much like shit is just up in the air, like in the atmosphere, like the Chinese weather balloons and shit like that we've most recently been seeing going on. I think during the midst of that, like NORAD doesn't track a lot of shit, which is why they were missing the balloons, because they were looking for very specific things, because there's so much shit in the atmosphere and in the air that they're like, this is going to clog all of our stuff. So we're not sure what we're going to be looking for. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that there's other things that people have seen. And based on, again, these Navy pilots, I mean, they were very specific about what they had seen and what they had recorded, and they've released that footage and things like that. I find that exciting because I would love to know more about that. I would love for it to be true, because that could be a link to something potentially greater for us as humans, and who knows. But at the end of the day, unless someone can provide legit evidence, that can be like, yeah, this is Tom DeLonge. He's been dissecting aliens for the last 2 decades when he's not touring with Blink-182 playing What's My Age Again. Like
How do I not have a 0.7 second Blink-182?
I don't know, man.
I'm so upset with that. That's gonna get
It's episode
rectified.
407, man. Fucking get it together. All right.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that aliens are to say that that's an unpractical thing to say.
So impractical.
So that really bothers Practical Doug.
Yes.
Where are we going with this?
You got the questions, we got the answers. All you do is ask. Practical, 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 practical. Ask Practical Doug.
It's probably
The
one of my
echo is
favorite
what
theme
makes that
songs.
so special.
What'd you say, Jarryd?
This is probably one of my favorite theme songs on the podcast.
So good.
So if you've never been here before for Ask Practical Doug is a small Doug who lives inside of Large Doug, and he guides Large Doug on all of life's quandaries and through its quagmires and different questions. And if you would like to ask Practical Doug a question, you can. Any social media, at MindGap Podcast, hashtag Ask Practical Doug, or on our Discord, there's a special Ask Practical Doug channel, which currently Jarryd is the king of Shit Mountain on. He is just rocking out asking these questions. So if you want to knock the king down, if you want to dethrone Jarryd, you've got to get on Discord. You've got to ask Practical Doug a question. Today, though, because we have Jarryd with us, it's not going to be one of his questions. Today, we have another Am I the Asshole from Reddit, which is just a treasure trove of fucking Ask Practical Doug questions. This one, am I the asshole for asking my wife to close the bathroom door after she poops? I think we all can weigh in on this. If we have let's say we have one bathroom in our house and that joins directly to our bedroom. She goes in to do her business first thing this morning, then walks out, leaving the door wide open. From the bed, which is like 8 feet away from the bathroom door, I asked her, "Did you poop?" She says, "Yes." She says, "Yes." I say, "Can you shut the door, please?" She explodes. She tells me, "You're making me feel extremely insecure as soon as I walk out of the bathroom." I tell her I think it's gross to leave the bathroom door open after you take a shit, knowing the door is inside our bedroom. She says, "It doesn't even smell that bad." I say, "I don't care if it smells like roses. It's the principle." She's exhibited this troubling habit a few times recently. I know she just isn't thinking about it in the moment, but I notice it every time. And honestly, sometimes I do notice the smell. Am I the asshole? Now, there's an edit to this. It says the bathroom has a working extractor fan. I prefer to leave the door closed with the fan running during and after doing my own business. Edit number 2 says neither of us are dead on a hill. And we're both pretty well over it now. Yes, I know that I'm not perfect, and neither is she. Reddit is wild sometimes. So, gentlemen, I turn to you. Is it uncouth to ask your wife to close the door when she takes a poo-poo?
Jarryd, you start us off.
Yeah, I'm a fan of keeping the door to the bathroom closed generally, but if her shit doesn't stink, like, why is it a big deal? I don't know.
It's a bold claim to say my shit doesn't stink.
I've never had an ensuite, so I've never been that close to a toilet. I live in a small apartment, but the bathroom's still far away from the bedroom, so I've never had that problem.
It's right next to the oven.
I don't know why that was so funny, but it's just like, I don't know. It made me laugh for some reason.
When I've like stayed in a hotel with like a partner, and they've had like an ensuite, I've normally tried not to shit there as much as possible. Normally, because when you're in a hotel, you're trying to be a little bit romantic. So you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go for a walk downstairs for a bit. I'm just gonna go visit the lobby.
You need to stretch.
And that's where you
Let's
leave
all
your
go to
horrible
the
hole,
lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to take a shit.
And so then I just take a shit right in the lobby.
Yeah, that's what the concierge is there for.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, you're already living together. Like, who cares? You've seen it, you've smelt it. And especially if they had kids or something, like, they're already covered in shit half the time. So who cares? Nothing's sacred anymore at that point. I don't know. I'm not married with a live-in partner, so you guys would be better experts at this than me. But I think he's being ridiculous, but she shouldn't fly off the handles and handle at him for telling her to close it.
I like your perspective on this. I think it's very reasonable. For me, I get the perspective of this guy's partner in that, can you imagine you just take a shit, you open the door, and as soon as you take a step out, someone goes, "Did you poop?"
You're not opening the door though. You're just stepping out.
Exactly. Like you
Right.
open, you just go, "Grr," and you step out, and then they wake up, they go, "Did you go poop?" And you're like, what's with the Inquisition, man? Like, what are we doing here? It's like, yeah. It's like, can you shut the door? It's just like, what are you afraid of? Like, it's like my dog when she takes a shit and then she sprints away from it. Like, I can't let it catch me. Like,
What is that? I've noticed that with Benny. Abby just kind of trots away,
Yeah.
or she saunters away.
Yeah.
But Benny is just like, he's like bat out of hell.
there's a devil inside of me,
Yeah.
and just takes off. Takes off
Yeah.
running.
Got him.
Take that,
Got him.
ghost.
Sorry.
If you had a huntsman, it would do the work for you.
I hate that you're right.
It's just in the corner, like, I've got you covered, buddy. Yeah, so I understand his perspective. Like, I I am less offended by that because I am a gross human. Like I used to have diarrhea all the time when I ate like absolute garbage, and I'm sure just the sound of that probably brought Jill just horror,
To tears.
brought her nightmares. She's like, "Are you all right?" I'm just like, ah, I try to be cognizant of it, but at the same time, I'm of the thought, it's like, hey, man, everybody poops. And while I'm not like, opening the door and like fanning it, into the room, like, y'all hear that? It's like, does this guy fart around her?
Hey, you guys want to come in and watch this happen?
It's like, he's like, honey, come here. What? He flushes and opens the door. He's like, yeah. Does this guy fart around the house? Or does he go into the bathroom, close the door, turn on the extractor fan, fart into the water of the toilet bowl, and then wait?
He
and then
draws
leave?
a bath. Submerges his ass. His freshly waxed ass.
I'm being obviously very hyperbolic here, but I think, listen, I don't shit in front of my wife. Okay, she doesn't shit in front of me. But when we're done, we leave the bathroom, right? And if I walk by and I'm like, oh, Jill's taking a shit, I don't go, leave the door closed. It's like, whatever, it's fine. It is what it is, like I don't really care. What I think is like, I think it's reasonable if this guy's like, hey, I really don't enjoy that. I'm waking up in the morning, you take a shit, the door's open, that's the first thing I smell in the morning. I find that to be obnoxious,
up. He sits up in bed and just the door's right at the end of the bed. Looks at his wife just dropping a grumper. Just, good morning, honey.
Rise and shine, baby. We got to grind. Got to get that bag. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever gross techno bro stuff she says. I think it's reasonable to say, hey, listen, it really bothers me when you get up first thing in the morning and you take a dump, and then like when you're done, you leave the door open, like, and I smell it. Like it's not something I really want to wake up to. Is it okay? Would you be it's like there's a way to have an adult conversation of like, is it cool to, turn on the fan and then when you're done, just close the door so like I don't have to smell it right away. Like the way he's approaching this is just so aggressive of like, shut the door after you take a shit. I don't like the way you smell. And
I don't see this as unless he's being, obviously there's three sides to every story, right?
Yeah.
So unless this is just his very slanted side of the story, he asks her, hey, did you poop? She says, yes. I said, can you shut the door, please?
Mm-hmm.
He says, can you shut the door, please? It's not like he went, oh my God, you pushed excrement out your butthole and I didn't want to smell it. Can you close the door, animal? Like, I don't think that's how he's saying it.
Because this is how I read it. I read it as like, again, it's to me, it's all about timing. The door opens and immediately, did you poop? He's just there like
again, she's not opening the door. The door is open.
So she goes first thing this morning, then walks out, leaving the door wide open. So she's not pooping with the door open. She poops and then opens the door. She flushes. And he's mad that after she poops, she leaves the door open. He thinks she should close the door behind her.
She's leaving the door open. The door's already open.
So I'm reading this as, okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding. I'm reading this as she's pooping with the door open.
Well, because look at the title. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to close the bathroom door after she poops? So to me, that's implying that she takes a shit, and then when she's done, she opens the door and walks out, and then leaves the door open after she took a shit, and so then the shit is wafting out, the shit smell, after she took a dump.
I got it. So if she was pooping with the door open, would that change her?
That's different because you're like,
okay, hey. I have this entire time I read it, and this entire time, for some reason it didn't click.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're not the asshole. It's gross to poop with the door open.
Right.
Just staring. That's what I was saying. Like, he wakes up and she's just staring at him, just taking a shit,
like,
vein popping out the side of the neck.
You're like, yeah, the door's, she's not opening the door. I was like, I don't know what he means by that. So like, but you were literally like, no, man, she shit with the door open. I'm like, no, she's not. Okay. So it's like very different scenarios.
In this scenario, full agree, he's the asshole. Because it's like, dude, you get done, you open the door, whatever. Who fucking cares? You're not going to close the door. You're not going to go in there and scrub it down every time you take a shit.
Yeah, like
as long as she again, if she's not breaking eye contact while she's taking a poop, then we got an issue. But
yeah, I don't like the idea of coming out, opening the door. You're just like, oh, you shut the light, and then again, I'm being theatrical about it. He's standing right there like, did you poop?
Right, did you poop? It's almost like a horror movie. She shuts the lights off and turns around. He's like, right here.
Did you poop? Yeah. Can you shut the door, please? It's like,
it's stinky.
It's stinky. I don't think it smells that bad. That's not the point. It's the principle. I don't care if it smells like roses. Doing whatever he's doing. Like,
yeah. Linda!
Again, it sucks if that's what you wake up to every day, is someone taking a shit and then that's what you smell. And again, an adult conversation needs to be had where you're like, hey, I don't enjoy waking up to this. I'm not saying you can't shit here. I'm not saying to go outside.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we have a fan. Is it cool if when you go in there, turn on the fan, you do your business. When you're done, leave the fan on, close the door. We're good to go.
Maybe buy some of that poopery, that spray stuff that you got to spray before you go kind of thing.
Got to spray before you go. Jarrod's got to take a shit.
Jarryd is done.
Jared's like, hey, man, all this talk about poop has got my rumbly bumblies going, man. I'm out. Deuces.
He's
poop time.
Literally. Yeah. He's like, I got to go. Before this hair grows back, I got to use the slip and slide I got between my cheeks.
You were like, I can't get this out. I can't. I did that tonight. Funny side story. I got to remember all the context for it, but it was something along the lines. I said something to Jill. Oh yeah, Natalie, I got this new game that we're playing. It's called Plunder Panic. It's a pirate game, and Natalie was like, Dad, I did all this stuff in Plunder Panic, and Jill was like, were you in the cage at the end of that? I'm like, what are you talking about? Because in this other game, Pummel Party, when you're last, you're in this cage and people can beat the shit out of you. So she's like, did you get in the cage? And I go, it's a different game, Jill. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I know this is a game that has pirates. You're doing all sorts of stuff like that. And she goes, oh, I thought this was just like a mini game within Plunder Panic. I go, oh, I could see why you'd think that, because you're fucking stupid. And I said it like so fast, trying not to laugh. And she was like mid-bite and she about like just spit herself out. She laughed so hard. And Natalie was like, why'd you say that to Mom? I'm like, it's a joke. It's totally cool. I was like, I don't normally say that to Mom. And that's why it's funny.
Don't flip people up. Don't say that, Natalie. Don't take after. Yeah.
I was like, I said it because she didn't expect me to say it. And also because I would never say that to her because I love her. But it's just funny to hear that coming from. So
everything good, Jarryd?
How was the poop?
Yeah. So that would be an amazingly quick poop.
Well, you're waxed right
you're
now.
Waxed.
I mean,
it's straight out, no
it's like
fuss,
soft
no muss.
bananas, just right out of there.
It's like wiping peanut butter off a hardwood floor. There's no shag carpet back there.
Yeah, right? We've all been there. So I'm going to say that Vibrotramp is the asshole here.
Also, the name.
Yeah.
All right. It is decided.
He's the asshole. Woo! That was a good time. Jarryd, thank you. Thank you so much for all this. But before we go, please, what do you have to recommend this week?
Hold on. Can I just share why I
No, you can't. Go ahead, yes.
You guys are just like, it was clearly a shit. We're talking about shit. His bowels just like picked up on the message.
Yeah.
So the other day, I live in an apartment complex, and the other day there was this smoke alarm going off. And I was like, happens all the time. People cook and set it off and then it stops. And this one went off on for a little bit. And I was like, fuck, do I actually have to go out and evacuate? And then it stopped. Or at least I thought so. I couldn't hear it. And then I went down to the bins yesterday, and the alarm is going off from inside the bin.
This is like a horror movie. It came from inside the bin.
It's like an episode of Friends.
But we have shared bins, right? So each bin belongs to 2 apartments and they're all numbered. And so I've been expecting someone to come because it was in my bin, but buried deep. So I'm not going to go down there and get it. But I was like, it's not from my apartment, and the apartment next door is empty at the moment. I was like, so someone's clearly gone, oh, well, that's a bin we can just stash it in.
Yeah.
And so there was a knock at the door, and I was like, oh, is this someone asking about the alarm? Are they going to accuse me? So I was like, all ready to like go get them. And then I went out there and there was no one. And I was like, oh.
Was it just the alarm was out there at your front?
Yeah, just the alarm.
Yeah.
It was just
It was
a
Was it a
huntsman
Huntsman spider?
holding the alarm. And it's just like, you know.
But yeah,
This is disrupting my brood.
yeah, I'm just half expecting like police to knock on my door and be like, "Have you been disposing of things like in the bin that you shouldn't be?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
You're
"No,
like,
it's not
I
me."
just got my ass waxed. Leave me alone. This is profiling. They're like, what? You just pull down your pants. And you're like, and I just lifted my leg and I spread my cheek like this. Look. And they're like, all right, you're
My
good.
criminal history and my butthole are clean. They're clear.
He's like, all right,
Anyway,
he's
that was-
clear. He's clear, guys. And the SWAT team goes away. For some reason, they brought the SWAT team, you know? Wait, this isn't America.
Yeah. And the SWAT
We
team
don't
are
have
just
to
fully loaded with Huntsman spiders.
Yeah.
Just guns that shoot huntsmen.
It's t-shirt guns, but you're not going to like where it shoots. Oh, my God. Anyway, Jarryd, what do you got to recommend this week?
Yes. Recommendations. So I just caught up on Peacemaker. The TV series. I don't know if you guys have watched it.
I have not. I've heard good things, though.
It was much better than Secret Invasion. A much better version of that kind of storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it really, yeah.
Yeah. So I would recommend that. It's funny as hell. It pretends that John Cena is the same character from the Suicide Squad movie. Vastly different. It goes into so much more and makes it a completely different character, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fucking enjoyable. I was staying up late to watch it and just binge the whole thing in one. It was, really good. And at the moment, I'm also watching The Last of Us, also catching up on that one. So
Good show.
I'd recommend that.
Nice.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
one. Good call.
When is Peacemaker season 2 coming out?
Are they making a season 2?
Yeah, it's in
guess
production. Or
Probably right
it's either
now,
in production or
indefinitely.
post-production. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, we'll figure it out later. Don't worry about it. I thought they announced it, but anyway.
Justin, what do you got to recommend?
I am going to recommend Barry, another show on Max. Bill Hader. It's 4 seasons that just wrapped up this year, I believe. And I started watching it when it first came out. Season 1, I was all in, and I made it halfway through season 2. And for some reason, I fell off not because I disliked the show, just something happened and I just got distracted, never came back to it. And then I saw it was wrapping itself up. I'm like, cool. As soon as the last episode's out, I'm going to blitzkrieg the whole thing again. And I got to say, it starts one place and finishes in a much, much different place. Tonally, timeline-wise, it's a very, very interesting arc. At first, I didn't like what they did in season 4, about midway through. And then I sat with it and went, I don't mind it so much. And then I started liking it the more I thought about it. I'll also say this. Bill Hader directed every episode of season 4. He directed
cool.
a few episodes in previous seasons, but every episode of season 4. I am a big fan of his directing style. It's weird, but it's Bill Hader, and it works, and I like it. So very, I feel like he really has his own unique voice as a director. So I would recommend Barry. Give it a shot. Easily digestible. Interesting. Doug, what do you got?
I'm going to recommend Stephen Curry Underrated, the Steph Curry documentary that's currently available on Apple TV+. We love Steph Curry in this household. It's basically...
Wait, why? Is there something... You're not huge basketball fans.
We're not, but this is one of the weird moments of the documentary that I remember watching him in college, like in real time, and watching Davidson in the tournament and seeing Steph Curry and seeing like all this amazing stuff, them upset different teams and seeing as far as they got. And it really like showcases, that story and how Steph Curry was such like he was underrated in almost his entire life because he was just so small and so skinny, and people were like, there's no way this kid's gonna do, like, none of the power schools wanted him. They're like, nah, he's too small. He goes to Davidson. They basically bet it all on him. They're like, yeah, he's gonna be great. It shows how hard he worked to learn how to shoot and do such a good job. It's a phenomenal. And also Steph Curry is just like a really cool, grounded guy. He just seems like someone who's just, he doesn't take it for granted, and he's got a really great competitive drive. And I don't know, Jill and I have always just enjoyed watching him, and he just seems like a really cool dude. So it's a fantastic documentary. I was very excited that it was coming out. I watched him on Hot Ones, which was great too. And then I was like, oh shit, that's right, that's coming out. Like I gotta watch that. So it was really good. So I highly recommend it. I'm not a huge sports guy, but I love that documentary. It was really, really good. So check it out. Speaking of checking out, Solid Rex, really, really good. Jarryd, before we go, do you want people to follow you anywhere, or do you have anything you want to, like, hey, check me out here, or what, whatever,
Yeah, I mean, normally Instagram is where everything is at the moment. I deleted my Twitter ages ago.
Fuck yeah.
I wasn't using it for the most part, and then once it started going to shit, I was like, I'll just delete all that.
Yeah. Get out of here.
TikTok, I'm not really updating anything. That was only for COVID time. So Instagram, at the Urbas, and if you want to see my Lego shit, it's at brick.hows, HOWS.
Okay.
It's a play on the song and on building and how to build them. So
that's fantastic.
As you can see, I have a little bit of a collection.
He likes his Lego stuff. He's a Lego boy.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. And you can follow Mind Gap on all our social medias at Mind Gap Podcast. Check out our YouTube, youtube.com/Mind Gap Podcast, to watch all of these episodes with visual enhancements. Those release on Friday, so check them out there. The audio drops on Mondays, so you can check out the audio there. Check out the link in the description for our Discord, so you can join and be part of the family. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/MindGapPodcast. Check out our merch at redbubble.com. All that good stuff. Do us a solid and check us out in all those places. And be sure to check out Justin online as well.
On Instagram, it's at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, check us out on any platform where you frequent to listen to your podcast. You'll find us there. We'd appreciate it if you rate, review, subscribe, all those things. Share us around. That's the big one. We would love it when you share us. And then twoeast8th.com and 2east8th on all social medias, loveanimprovfilm.com and loveanimprovfilm on Instagram.
Fantastic. Once again, Jarryd, thank you so much for taking the time early in the morning in the future to hang out with us. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And with that, I will say, Justin, thank you.
Douglas, thank you.
Listeners and viewers, thank you. And you all have a dandy fucking week.
Mind Gap Podcast.